in scope like we have the main ledger called general ledger, and we have some subledgers. Subledgers means we have accounts payable, accounts receivables, fixed assets, cash management mainly. In addition to that, we have expense module also and intercompany. Okay, but these are the five core modules, Andy. So one main core module is general ledger, acting as a central repository where you are going to generate the reports and see the data about your income and expenditure and balance sheet information. So rest of the modules we call it as subledgers, okay, or subledger modules. General ledger we call it as main ledger only. So wherever you are creating any information in your subledgers, all the information is going to post into your general ledger module end of the day. Okay, so that when you generate any report, okay, from the general ledger, it will show all the data from your subledgers, by adding up your income and expenditures in the trial balances and balance sheet accounts. Okay. So here you can see the general ledger module as acting as a central repository. You can see the arrow marks like if you see accounts payable. So in accounts payable module, we can call it as subledger module. Okay. What we are doing in accounts payable module mainly, we are recording the purchasing invoices. Okay. We are going to receive the purchase invoices from your vendors or suppliers, right? When you are buying something from the supplier or vendor, he is going to send one invoice, right, along with the goods. That invoice we are going to record in the accounts payable module as a purchase invoice. Okay, that purchase invoice related information we are recording in the AP module. Okay, that information will pass into the general ledger module. And when you make a payment against that purchase invoice to the suppliers, okay, that information also flow into your general ledger module, right? If you comes to accounts receivable module, so when you are sending any goods to the customers or any services providing to the customer, we are generating the invoices and sending the invoices to the suppliers or customers. That customer is going to send the amount to us. So here we are recording the sales invoice information and receipt information also. So that information also go flowing into the general ledger module. Okay, about sales invoices and receipts here. You can see the arrow marks. All arrow marks are towards to the general ledger. Yeah, and you can see the fixed assets, Andy. So in fixed assets module, subledger module, we can call it as subledger. All are subledger modules, Andy. All are subledger modules. You can see. So in fixed assets module, we are going to handle assets management, like assets creation, asset adjustment. Okay, assets means company's assets and customer assets. So our client assets we are going to manage in the fixed assets module. So so we have the asset cycle like addition of the assets. When the new asset is coming into picture, then we can add assets into the assets module. And if they want to, do the adjustment, they will, perform the transaction as an adjustment. Okay, by changing some details and running depreciation every month. Okay, and if they want to retire the asset, they can do the retire asset by after the life of assets is completed in between, like all those things are going to perform in the fixed assets module. So all the information related whenever they do transactions, so all these transactions, that information also going flowing into the main general ledger module. And you can see here expense module. So expense module mainly we are using for submitting of the expense reports only. Okay, whenever the employee is submitting any expense report, okay, that expense report converting as an payables invoice and going for payment. So this ideally flowing into the payables module, this module. Okay, from this we are sending the information to the general ledger. Okay, this is one of the subledger module. Next you see intercompany. Intercompany means if the customer or client having two companies as a legal legal entities registered. If they are doing in between those two transactions, though both are belongs to same company. So if any transaction is happening in between the entities, we can treat them as an intercompany transactions. Okay, we are going to have a separate intercompany module. Okay, so whatever the transactions are going created from the intercompany module, we can get those information also directly posting into the general ledger module, right? And we have the another module called cash management. In the cash management, where we are going to record and do the reconciliation, like automatic reconciliation, manual reconciliation, by using the bank statements. Like so, whatever the transactions you are, recording as a supplier invoices or a customer invoices or payments, receipts, yeah, all those information are flowing into general ledger module. Along with that, those transactions will appear in the cash management module to perform the reconciliation. So those transactions we call it as system transactions from the payables and receivable module to do the reconciliation. So how we are going to reconciliation that I'm going to cover in the future classes. Like we have the system transaction and bank statement lines. So these bank statement lines are going to create automatically in the cash management module through the bank integration. So bank will send the data to us through one file. So that file is going to receive in the application and going to create a bank statements automatically. So when you make a payment, so it is going to paid through our bank account only. When you're receiving the payment, right, that is also going to receive through our internal bank account. So the bank account should have mainly, right, bank accounts will generate bank statements, right? So that bank statements are going to import through your import to your cash management module from your bank integration. So all those integrations are handling by the integration specialist only. We are not going to handle anything. Okay, we are just giving the details, whatever we need through that integration from functional side. Whatever the details are required, we are going to share. That's it. We are not going to handle the integrations. We are a functional consultants. We are going to handle only functional modules, right? No need to worry about integrations and technical parts. Apart from these, you can see here the purchasing and order management. These two modules also handling by different consultants, supply chain management consultant and SM consultant or procurement consultants. So each project will have this SEM consultant and procurement consultants and integrations consultants, okay, and financial functional consultant. You can see the scope of work also more to your financial consultants. Yeah. So procurement and supply chain management guys will have like 1 or 2 members, but you can see that treating of financial models, minimum 5 members will be required. It depends on the subscription going to have by the client. Like few of the clients are not going to use all the modules only, all finance modules. Like intercompany, they are not going to use unless until they have the requirement. And expense also they are not going to use if they don't have the requirement. Apart from that, we have third-party systems also in the real time. Like the data is maintaining by the another system only. So they are going to have the Oracle Fusion application along with the third-party systems. So due to different reasons, they are going to continue to use the third-party systems to recording some transactions in their old systems. So what will happen when they are coming, when they are migrated to Fusion application, they are maintaining the general ledger module in this Fusion application. Then in that case, they should send the data from third party system to the general ledger, since they are generating the financial statement from our Fusion application. So in that case, we are going to build a integration from the third party system to our general ledger Fusion application. So based on that intervals, we are going to set the data will flow into third party system to our general ledger modules. So we can identify those transactions, what are the transactions are flows from the third party system to general ledger. We have the concept called source. Source, you can, by seeing the source, you can identify the transaction where it is get created. Okay. So this is all about how the data is flows into the general ledger module. We are not sending the data from general ledger module to our financial subledgers. Only we are